All right, well, let's take you to another top story now. And the Jubilee Party's Vice Chairman, David Murathe, this morning failed to appear in person before the Public Investments Committee of the National Assembly, which is investigating the misappropriation of COVID funds at the Kenya Medical Supplies Agency, that's Kemsa. In a sworn affidavit, he did, however, confess to being a joint signatory to an account that stood to hold 4 billion shillings in COVID funds. Olive Burrows with the details.
We need to weigh out.
It promised to be a revealing interview. And so the Public Investments Committee of the National Assembly took the extraordinary step of holding an in-person sitting in the time of COVID-19. After months of interviews, the committee hoped to get down to the business of reporting back to the electorate on the corrupt dealings at the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority that saw persons with no experience in medical supplies walk in off the street and emerge multi-millionaires. But with its last set of interviews on Thursday, the committee readied to reel in a big fish. Except the Jubilee Party's vice chairman, believed to be a close confidant of none less than President Uhuru Kenyatta, was a no-show. Rather than testify before the committee in person as requested on how he came to associate with companies that stood to make 4 billion shillings off the plight of the COVID-19 pandemic, David Murathe sent in an affidavit.
And he was telling Kenyans publicly how he is coming to appear before us and how he is going to teach us a lesson. On one hand, he is telling us how he is going to teach us a lesson, how he is going to show us how to do things. But on the other hand, he seemed to be, for lack of another word, a coward.
4 billion shillings is not a cup of tea. It is the entire budget for fight against COVID. And yet, he has the audacity.
In his affidavit, Murathe confirmed that he was indeed a signatory to a joint account opened for the purpose of receiving payment from Kemsa. Murathe's affidavit, reading in part, Kilig Limited and Entech Technology Limited only requested me to be a signatory to Kilig Limited's bank account to guarantee that Entech Technology Limited, as the supplier of the PPE kits, would be paid upon Kemsa effecting the anticipated payment on completion of the procurement process, and I obliged.
He says that the reason that they brought in David Murathe on board was because they knew that he would cause Kemsa to pay. We are looking at issues to do with abatement of a committal of a felony.
But in their affidavits, Kilig and Entech Technology sought to exculpate all parties involved from fault for the reason that the commitment letter they obtained from Kemsa for 450,000 PPE kits in a record 3 days was cancelled for lack of funds.
So first it was cancelled, and then after being cancelled, it was revived again. Was it a phone call that made that revival back again?
How badly the committee wants the answers will determine whether they will wait to compel the physical attendance of Murathe and co. or retreat for the purposes of producing a report.
Kenyans want to see this big fish who influenced the payment in Kemsa. These are the people we are looking for.
These people have thought of salvaging Kenya.
Olive Burrows, NTV.